In Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 1, we learned that Ben has a girlfriend somewhere in Europe. After speculating that it may be Brooklyn just simply catfishing him, we now have more evidence to suggest that this is a brand new character after all. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Chaos Theory video. Today we're going back and looking at something very specific that many others wanted me to talk about in my Discord server, which by the way you can join via a link in the description. Basically, I had a few people in there saying that I should have a new look at this whole Ben's girlfriend situation, as some recent evidence has come to light. But not only that, I have even more evidence to prove such a theory. So if you're excited to learn more about today's information, then make sure you've liked the video and subscribe if you're new around here, as we're still aiming for 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It doesn't impact you negatively to subscribe and helps me out more than you can imagine, so please do consider pressing that button. But for now, once you're sat back, relaxed and enjoying your G Fuel after using code SWERVE, it's time to go ahead and find out where Ben's girlfriend is from and who exactly she is. So during the events of Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 1, we kind of got a better understanding of what these campers were doing ever since they got back to the mainland in 2016. Sure, Camp Cretaceous Season 5 ended in 2018, right at the very end, but between 2018 and 2022, we didn't really know what they got up to. But in Chaos Theory, we get an understanding. Brooklyn went kind of more undercover, Kenji started a rock climbing business, Ben even went to university, so it's clear that they just kind of got on with their lives, I guess. And of course, relationships do happen when you reach that age, more serious relationships. And the most serious one that we need to take here is the one that has piqued curiosity amongst many fans alike. Who is Ben's girlfriend? He briefly mentions that he does have a girlfriend and that she resides in Europe. Now of course, as a European, it can be very irritating when Americans talk about Europe as if it's one country. Because there's many different cultures, many different languages, we kind of need more specifics, and I was kind of disappointed that Ben just said Europe, you know? Like tell me, are you Helsinki Europe? Are you Rome Europe? Are you Lisbon Europe? Heck, are you even London Europe? Or maybe even Sofia Europe? And we just didn't get that answer whatsoever. We were just left with this idea that his girlfriend is European, but we don't exactly know where she resides. Well, thankfully we actually have two bits of information here, or evidence shall I say, to kind of support what country she is from. So, before we get into that, we need to discuss novelizations. Now, as we know, novelizations are kind of just a fun way to read the same story that we saw on screen, for all of you book lovers. However, we also need to be clear here that novelizations and cinematic universes are completely different. Now, I'm not going to go and say that this is official, but I like to think that the novelizations for Chaos Theory and Camp Cretaceous are canonical to the novelizations of the original Jurassic Park and the original The Lost World book. However, I'm sure there is somebody out there who's read all of the books and kind of can point out some canonical errors which would suggest that they don't take place in the same timeline. But just for now, I'm going to say that they do, so we can recognize that novelizations and cinematics are different universes. So what we do read in novelizations, we cannot take so seriously that they kind of prove everything in the canonical cinematic timeline. However, what we can do is kind of take them with a better understanding as to what we know from the cinematic timeline. For example, before the extended edition of Jurassic World Dominion released, we had the novelization of Jurassic World Dominion that basically discussed the Lishosaurus versus the Oviraptor fight scene. Now of course, back then we didn't know anything about that scene until the extended edition released. So for me, that's enough proof to kind of look at the novelizations as kind of a way to get a better understanding of the cinematic stuff that was kind of left out. So using this as an insight to the cinematic timeline, in the novel, it does in fact confirm that she is from no other than Italy. The scene practically follows the same as the cinematic scene, where Ben basically confirms that he does have a girlfriend. Both Sammy and Darius were surprised by Ben's admission that he had a girlfriend. They were even more surprised when Ben said that she lived in Italy. So there you go, the official novelization confirms that she does in fact reside in Italy. Which of course, if you guys are somehow terrible at geography, Italy is in fact part of Europe. So the novel itself does say that she does reside in Italy, but of course, we can't really take this with too much credibility because it is technically a separate timeline. However, further evidence does suggest that she does also reside in Italy within the cinematic timeline, because at the San Diego Comic-Con panel, if I'm remembering this correctly, I'm sure I'll find it and edit it in somewhere, but the host of the panel, the guy who was asking all of the questions, did let slip that his girlfriend lives in Italy.
And I'm curious where we're going. But like, just like, I don't know, I'm just not bored. I'm not bored for a ride.
Alright, and if we see Ben's, Italian girlfriend, all the better for us. Yeah.
Italian.
Everybody else, when you...
Italian.
Now I don't know if he's just read the novelization or he kind of got this information officially from Universal and or DreamWorks, but I just find it very intriguing that for the sake of the panel being there for the cinematic purpose of Chaos Theory Seasons 1 and 2, why did he decide to bring up Italy and the fact that his girlfriend resides in Italy? I don't know, I just find that very, very interesting, to be honest. And I think that's enough evidence to kind of confirm that in the cinematic timeline, Ben's girlfriend also lives in Italy as well. So therefore, it is safe to assume that his girlfriend is most likely Italian. But this is where my brain starts to theorize and speculate even more, because you know who else resides in Italy? That's right, Biosyn. In 2022, during the event of Chaos Theory, Biosyn resides within the Dolomite Mountains, which is located within Italy, northern Italy to be precise. And this is where they kind of have their sanctuary, with the Giganotosaurus, I believe the Buck and Doe, we have the Rex as well, the Pyroraptor, and many other creatures, including Dilophosaurus. So using my theoretical mindset here, merge in another theory of mine where I think that Chaos Theory might eventually get to the events of Malta and possibly even Italy, I strongly believe that somehow, I'm not too sure how, but in some way Ben's girlfriend is going to be involved here as the campers make their way to possibly Malta, or maybe they might even get to Italy in the first place, who knows. I just think that something is going down here and something is happening. Sure, I could be thinking about this way too much, but at the same time, I just find it really interesting. Why didn't they mention that she was in Italy when Ben was talking? And coincidentally, his girlfriend resides very close to Biosyn, and of course we know how the timelines of Biosyn and Camp Cretaceous line up when we saw Lewis Dodson appear in Camp Cretaceous Season 5. So he is well aware of Kenji Kon at the very least, and probably knows a lot more about the other campers since they are now what seems to be at least nationwide news, possibly even international news. So I just think that there's something more that the Chaos Theory team and the story isn't telling us quite yet. I'm going to spend some time to think about it and speculate and theorize and see what I can come up with, but at this point in time, it's just a little bit too early to kind of understand what a potential storyline is right here. But all we do know is that it is highly likely that Ben's girlfriend is not Brooklyn after all, unless she resides in Italy somehow. But it is most likely true that Ben's girlfriend does in fact reside in Italy. So there you go. It seems ever so likely that Ben's girlfriend is most likely in Italy, and she may even play a part of the story sometime later down the line. With her being close to Biosyn and Malta, I have a sneaky suspicion that she'll be an integral part of the story going forward. But hey, that's just a theory, a chaos theory. If you enjoyed today's video, then please be sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts down below. Remember to help us out by subscribing, but most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.